All those poets on all those worlds who spoke of war as such an unsightly thing, they never stood here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episodic review by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about the ABC television series by the name of 666 Park Avenue. I'm going to talk about my opinions and thoughts upon episode 9 of 666 titled Hypnos. So let's get straight to it. Episode 9 starts off with Whoopi Goldberg's character. She plays, I believe, a girl by the name of Marissa or something like that. Anyway, she plays kind of a psychic, and in the very beginning, she hypnotizes Rachel Taylor character's Jane voluntarily. Just so if you guys didn't watch the episode, she hypnotizes her voluntarily where Rachel Taylor wanted to, and she travels back to the era of 1927 where we finally meet Peter Kramer for the first time in his own era. You know, we see him back when he actually used to live. We found out that he had a daughter, and we first thought that he was the cause of all this trouble at the Drake Hotel, but actually there might be some sort of organization that's behind it, because it seems that some organization has convinced him to act a certain way, and that, you know, the whole ritual flashback scene that we saw, it seems that Peter Kramer was convinced to do this, and there was some sort of man in the shadows that we didn't see. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's Gavin Durant, like a younger version. I don't know who the heck it is, but some man in the shadows is running this whole ritual thing. But that was that. We also had Henry's character. I don't know the actor's name, but Henry's character, Gavin Durant told him that there was because of some transgressional reason, a council chairman seat had been lost, and that he was going to be able to run as a council chairman for New York City. So he's getting, once again, Henry is getting more into politics, and he might actually become a big person in the city. And then we had also Olivia is trying to find out if her daughter is still alive. Those were pretty much the three main plots in 66 Park Avenue. This time the subplots, you know, that's what, like I always say, the subplots are kind of distracting. This time they were a little distracting. At the end you found out that their daughter Sasha was truly alive. She was a character. She was the character that kept giving Henry information about politics and said, you know, call me up, I can get you involved in politics. That was Sasha. That was kind of something I felt that they just kind of, I really wish she would have just been some random character. Like, I really wish they didn't have to, like, make it a twist, because I felt like it was just something they pulled out of the air. They just kind of pulled it out of nowhere and said, here you go, here's Sasha. You've already seen her in the series, but here who she really is. I didn't like that. I really wish it was just, I would have been fine with it just being some random character that for the first time gets introduced to the series 66 Park Avenue in episode 9, Hypnos. I really wish they would have just made it some random person instead of just making it someone you've already seen. But I guess it does kind of make sense in a way. That was one of my complaints. There was also a scene that I liked. This is one of those episodes where there's a lot of strange imagery, and they don't really explain any of the images you are actually seeing. There's a scene where Whoopi Goldberg is freed because Gavin tells her, hey, if you can tell me what happened to Jane in the spiral staircase, then I'll let you out of the Drake. They don't really tell too much about her character, but he says, you know, she's trapped in the room for some reason. Has something to do with the symbol, I guess. Kind of a plot hole if you think about it. So anyways, at the end, she actually ends up getting freed. She keeps her part of the bargain. She ends up being freed. And at the end, she's in the middle of Times Square, and all of a sudden, she bursts up into a bunch of white doves or birds of some kind, and she flies away. It was a cool scene, but it didn't make a load of sense at all. I was in my head, when I saw the scene, I was like, what just happened? It didn't make any sense, but some cool imagery once again. Then we have, I forgot to say, that when Jane, Rachel Taylor, when she went back in time, she saw the events through a different character's point of view, through their eyes. She saw the events through a girl named Libby. I don't know who Libby is. I know she was some babysitter. Sometimes she was babysitting Jocelyn, the little girl in the episode. I don't know who she is, but she was seeing the events through Libby's eyes. And at the end, at the end of the episode, Rachel Taylor puts her hand through the mirror, and Libby says something, I forget. But that scene, once again, cool imagery, though it didn't make a lot of sense. So overall, I thought this episode was definitely a lot better. Like I said, last week's episode, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, episode 8, was a very focused episode. Not a lot happened, but the series knew where it was going. This episode, I will say, it has a few inconsistencies. There are some things that don't make sense. The bird scene, cool thing, but doesn't make sense. But overall, a solid episode, definitely better than last week's. The subplots are a little distracting in this episode, but not too bad. I will say one of the things that does bring up this episode, I know I'm saying a lot of negative things, but I do like the series a lot, just so you guys know. I don't not like it. I do like it a lot. So anyways, I will say the Whoopi Goldberg's performance in this episode was probably my favorite thing about it. She's just kind of this, you don't know too much about her, but she has some really cool quotes, and her dialogue in this TV series was actually very impressive for her. I haven't seen her too much. I know she does some voice work, and of course like The Lion King and The Page Master and other stuff, I'm sure, but I'm not too familiar with Whoopi Goldberg's acting or voice roles or anything, but I did like her guest star. She was actually in about a good 20 or 25 minutes. She was in the first 20 minutes, and then she was in like the last 5 minutes of the episode. So she actually had a pretty huge role as a guest star in this episode. But overall, I really liked her performance. She had some cool quotes, her demeanor, and her whole facial expressions. I just thought were interesting. And overall, she was just kind of a cool character. And I thought that Whoopi Goldberg was pretty cool, though she kind of left at the end of the episode in a strange way, a cool way that didn't make a lot of sense. Her performance and her acting, I thought was quite good. So I did like Whoopi Goldberg in this episode, and definitely the best thing about episode 9, titled Hypnos. Anyways, just so you guys know, this was the winter finale of 66 Park Avenue. It is going to return. It hasn't been announced yet. I checked Wikipedia and other news sites, and it doesn't seem like they know when, but I'm guessing sometime in January it will return. It seems kind of pointless to me, and it ticks me off a little bit that because there's only 4 episodes left. We have 10, 11, 12, and 13. There's 4 episodes left of 66, and for some odd reason they have to take a break. I guess because of Christmas or something. They're doing that for several series. Revolution, I can see Revolution though. It still has 10 more episodes. But American Horror Story, they're going to take like a 3-week break with that and bring it back at the beginning of January. Same thing with 66 Park Avenue. They only have 4 episodes left, but this was, just so you guys know, this was the winter finale of 2012, and then I guess sometime in January, probably the 1st or 2nd week of January, they'll bring it back and air the remaining 4 episodes. So it's kind of stupid because, just in my opinion, just air the rest of the series. Let me see what you guys have. But, maybe they need that time to rework the final episode for the series finale, right? If that's the case, then give them all the time they need to give me to answer the questions I have. So anyways, that's my review on the episode 9 of 66 Park Avenue titled Hypnos. I'll see you guys in a few weeks whenever they come back next year with the remaining 4 episodes. Until then, make sure to be looking on my channel for more videos. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and page below, and I'll see you guys later with more reviews. Bye, Centipede Geek.